Hello, here is my process to follow to eventually build a business that, if you wish to do so, you could sell. And it all starts with knowing what you want. And that all starts with a thought. And the thought that you want needs to be positive and enabling, which means that the first step really is to be able to condition your mind such that you can choose to react and behave in a positive way for any given circumstance, rather than default to the negative, which is what normally happens. You're three times more likely to default to a negative interpretation of an event or a circumstance than a positive one. And it's only by training your mind and your three mental muscles here that you can actually overturn that. So the three mental muscles are the thrive muscle, which basically says that you would react to any event or circumstance in a positive way, seeing it as a gift or an opportunity. There's the mental control muscle that basically says that if an event happens and you lapse into negative, you immediately spot it and switch to going positive. And then the third muscle is this, it's called the saboteur interrupt, but basically it's a way of heading off any tendency to go negative. And as I say, if you don't actually build these three muscles up, what happens is we automatically default to fear, suspicion, being procrastinating, cautious. All of those things overtake us, and we need to actually build our mental muscles to overcome that. Now you can do that in a 6-week program, 15 minutes a day for 6 weeks. That's all it takes. And if you're interested, I can let you know more about that. Now, once you've got your brain right, you then are in a position to be able to set your goals. And again, that's a whole process to follow. And once you set your goals, that then determines your strategy for your business, because obviously your business is going to help you fulfill your goals, personal business goals. So that's where we get to strategy. So that's the first important step then as regards the business. Operations. Now, the thing about operations is this is where you're doing something generally that you're good at. That's why you've gone into business. So operations is a very important area, but it's probably something you're very good at anyway. But there will be improvements you can make, mainly through this area down here, having more systems in place. So I'll come back to them. Once you've got your goals and strategy in place, what you then need to do is understand your numbers. Now, what a lot of people don't realize is that there are 5 or 6 key numbers, and all you need to do is make a 5 to 10% improvement in each. So we're talking of 1% a week for a year maximum. And if you do that, you'll double the bottom line for virtually any business, and probably better than that. So it's just a question really of making those small improvements. Now, the other one I've got in the middle here, which is crucial to all of it, is time. Because unless you actually take the time to do this, and then to set your goals and strategies, and then to actually work on making these improvements, none of it happens. So time management is very important. So that's an important element as well. Once we've understood our numbers, we then need to understand the difference between tactical sales and marketing and strategic sales and marketing. Now, tactical sales and marketing is where we do ad hoc activities and we expect people to buy as a result of those ad hoc activities. Strategic sales and marketing is where we understand who our ideal customer or client is, and the fact that they will need repeated communications before they're ready to make a decision to buy. That could be anything from 5, 8, 20 upwards, depends on the type of product and service, and it's become longer and more repeated as a result of social media and the internet, etc. So we need to understand that we need to know who our customer is, and we need to repeatedly have a strategy in place to repeatedly connect with them. Once we understand that, we'll then probably be growing our business, and more we'll come into the issue of dealing with people and teams. Now, we may outsource, but again, that's part of people. We may have teams within our business. Again, then it comes into recruiting, motivating, building teams, etc. Understanding different personality types, all that can become important. So that's a completely important area in itself. And then the other really big one, which sort of underpins all of this, I mean, you could even put this in the middle along with time and ops, but this is systems. Now, the thing is, if you've got a business that requires you to be there to run it, then you haven't got a business, you're employed. You can't sell it because no one's going to buy a business if you need to be there. Or if they do buy it, they're going to buy it on something like a 5-year earn out, which means that you end up working for 5 years and you never actually get the money you think you're going to get, because it never quite works out that way. So you need to have systems in place such that the business can run itself without you being there. And that to me is sort of the biggest, probably the biggest shortfall for an awful lot of small to medium-sized businesses, that the owner has to be there and the owner's actively involved, you know, in operations and in all these other things. You need to be able to systemize it so that you've got a business that runs when you're not there. So that's the process, and those are the key elements that you would work on. If you're interested in finding out more about how all of that works, or more information on any of those aspects, have a look at Business Roundtable UK, which is where we get a collection of like-minded business owners together on a regular basis to help and advise each other. Or message me either through LinkedIn or Facebook, or Bernard at businessroundtableuk.co.uk. Hope you found that interesting. That's basically the overall process. All of those areas are important, and yeah, if you want to know more, let me know.